All right. So, welcome back to another episode of Classic Conversations. And this one is quite different for me because we're going a little international today. Man, I've been blessed to have known my guest for like a decade, I guess, and it's been that long since we've seen each other. So, it's going to be really cool to catch up with her. How you doing, Charlene?
Good. Everything's good. It has been a long time, and thank you for having me.
Yeah.
We graduated college. When was that? Like 2012 or 11 or something?
Yeah, I actually I think I graduated with you in 11 and then I ended up finishing my undergrad degree in 2013. So yeah.
Cool. Yeah, it's been a very long time, and now you are talking to me at what is it? Almost 4 o'clock in the morning.
Yep, 4 o'clock in the morning here in New York City, and where you're at, it's like 9 a.m., no? 10 a.m.?
Yeah, I'm in Switzerland, and it's 9:54, so it's almost 10 a.m. Yeah.
Jeez. All right. See the things I do for interviews. No, I'm just kidding. No, yeah, so I always like to start off by asking my guests, this pandemic has been really crazy and tough on all of us. So how has it been for you?
Well, excuse me. I actually, to sum it up very quickly, I came out to Europe in 2018 and actually met somebody. So we had been doing long distance, back and forth dating, which seemed really exciting when the world was open, to be able to say, oh, I'm going to France next week or whatever. Um, so basically, I had planned to move here. Things had gotten serious and everything. And I actually left New York on May 16th of 2020. And I initially flew down to South Florida to see my mom and my brother and just kind of, do like a goodbye thing because I was moving around the world. But I had no idea that the day after I got to Florida, the world was going to shut down. So I actually got stuck. I don't want to say stuck, but I was placed and located in Florida for actually 5 months, which I hadn't lived in Florida at that point in about 14 years. I certainly hadn't been at my mother's house for that long in 14 years. And I was out of work. My plan was to come here and to work and to start my life. So that was interesting. I think hindsight is 2020, and it was incredible. I got to spend 5 months with my family and be close to them. And Florida doesn't really have rules. So it didn't really feel like a pandemic, so I was able to go to the beach. So, there was good parts, but then the people that live in Europe, because, it's the same size as the US, but it's so many different countries, they were not allowed to cross borders. So the people in Switzerland created this hashtag, love is not tourism. And when you submitted paperwork to the government, like texts, emails, pictures, tickets to prove that you were in a relationship with somebody prior to the pandemic, Switzerland would give you a 90-day visa. So
Oh,
we submitted like 100 pages of emails, texts, because at that point it had been 2 years. And they gave me a 90-day visa. So we got engaged and got married on the 89th day.
oh shit, bro.
So now I'm here. It was all part of the plan anyway. We just had to fast track it because the world is so unpredictable right now.
Right.
And that was really stressful. But it was great to move here. It was weird to move to a new country and kind of learn the language and learn the people and the layout of the land when everything was closed. Switzerland was very, very strict. We're still wearing masks everywhere. You can't go inside anywhere unless you have a vaccine. We actually lost 3 family members to COVID all in the span of 3 months. So my pandemic, without going much longer, really was like a real roller coaster. There was incredible highs of being with my family and getting married. And then there was incredible lows because we were losing so many people, and so many people were in ICU and in, medically induced comas. And so it's been a real roller coaster,
Right.
but yeah.
Oh no. So yeah, no, that's actually really it. Like that's unfortunate that you lost family members. I mean, I've lost a couple of close friends too, and I've actually
Yeah.
had COVID twice. So yeah, it's
Oh no.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
tough. But no, so all right. So take us back a little bit. What was childhood like growing up? What was growing up like for you?
Growing up for me, well, it was tough, but good. I had two very, very strong parents. My father was in the FBI, so it was very military style with him. And my mother was, somebody who was owning her own businesses. She was always the boss. So she kind of carried that into the way she was all the time. Childhood was like magical in a way. My mom and my father uniquely were very, 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 very good parents. They did get divorced, and I was the first one in my school that had divorced parents. So it was like very interesting to kind of be like the leader with that kind of thing. But it was good. It was definitely why I ended up at John Jay. I think that my father, unfortunately, my father passed because of suicide, but he was very, very, very good at what he did and very, very dedicated. He wasn't interested with the guy smoking weed on the corner. He was going after the people that were severely, severely bad people. So it was pretty incredible to watch.
As it
Yeah.
should be. As
Yeah. Right.
what do you call it? So when you're okay, so when you're not can you describe your like job? Like what do you do?
Yeah. So when we were in school, I actually got a degree in deviant behavior and social control, which was that your major? What was your
No,
major? Please remind me.
no, I majored in criminal justice and then I
Okay.
minored in theater art.
Okay. Okay. So sorry, the ambulance. So I actually started working with one of our professors that was at John Jay, Corey Rowe. I don't know if you ever had to take one of her classes, but
No,
what I did for about 8 years after we graduated was I went into the prison system with her. Like I was in Rikers a lot, and I was in Otisville, where I was doing like reintegration coaching. So I would meet them while they were in, and then as they were getting released, I was kind of like reintegrating them back into society. I was helping them get jobs, helping them find local communities that were separate from the communities they were in before. I was just trying to lower the recidivism rate for a long time. It was hard. It was really hard to constantly be around male prisoners. There were a lot to deal with, and but it was an incredible experience. I gained so much from being around them all the time. I mean, they became like really they were my friends because I watched them grow and transition from living a life of crime and then being institutionalized for 20 years and then coming out. It was really incredible. But as time went on, I kind of tried to shift that. So right now, through the pandemic, I also started my own company called Schmall Consulting, which is going into businesses and corporations and helping the management teams and the HR departments really understand how to handle the mental health of their employees. And then most recently, because when I moved here, I'm very much still myself, but in Switzerland, they're very reserved. And the conversation of mental health almost is like taboo a little bit. It's like really stigmatized. And I didn't really like that. So I actually had somebody that I knew through a volunteer work who was very interested in working alongside me. So we created Up Zurich, which is a platform that is kind of destigmatizing mental health. We're opening the conversation. We're giving a platform for people like, just like you're doing, to speak, but to speak specifically about some sort of mental health struggle or something that happened in life or the pandemic. And then ultimately we're creating a platform online, which is going to be kind of like a one-stop shop for all of the mental health and physical health resources located in Zurich for the Zurich locals, because I think people fear here reaching out for help because, oh, what if they run into this person on the street? Someone will know that they have a depression or anxiety. And to me, that's not how you should live your life. So I want to put everything in one place so people know what's out there to help them get through whatever they're going through.
No, that's amazing. And more places need to exist like that, because the subject of mental health is it should be taken very seriously. And it isn't, because people are trying to cover it up because they think it's some sort of like they're gonna get judged for having a mental issue.
Yeah.
I know,
Yeah.
I've dealt with that, trust me. And
It's sad. It's not acceptable. It's not acceptable. Like we are born and we live and we die. And in the middle of that, during that living part, you have to be genuine. I don't understand when other people's opinions became so much more powerful than your own,
right,
you know?
that's exactly right.
So it's hard to do startups. It's hard to do startups in a place where I'm still networking and getting to know people and all of that kind of stuff. But it's all good. It's a
Yeah,
challenge.
no, that is amazing. And I will, if you send me some links, I'll put it in the description for this video. So if like people want to reach out to you and stuff like that,
He's
I'll
so
definitely.
cool. Yeah, absolutely. I will do that. I'm wearing the shirt. See, there's our logo. There's our
Oh,
hashtag.
look at that. Yeah, she's got her.
I, I have to, we're meeting with some people that are going to guide us financially how to, really do this with a startup today. So I wanted to wear our logo today.
No, it's great. I'm all for it. So okay, so when you're not helping people deal with the stigma of mental health and everything like that, like what's a typical day off for you? Like how do you relax?
How do I relax? Well, I'm kind of funny because my idea of relaxing is actually being on the move.
Uh,
Like I like to be on the go, like uh I really, really enjoy people watching. That's one of the main things I miss about New York is being able to go outside, and it's almost like better than TV sometimes, just because people are so unique. Um, but I got super into like yoga, and not meditation per se, but taking a few minutes to like slow my thoughts down, which I had never done before. So that's something that I've kind of like integrated into my everyday.
hmm.
I would definitely say one of my favorite things to do on my day off is go to the train station and sit down and watch people. I know that sounds so funny.
It does, but hey, you know what? It's your thing, shouldn't be judged. It's your thing.
Well, it's so like there's so many layers to it too. Like my degree, the degree that I got from John Jay is essentially like a behavioral analysis degree. And I find so much interest in just like watching how people move and watching how people interact with each other, because I learn more that way. I learn more that way than like having a conversation that doesn't mean anything, like how people have very uh not real conversations, that kind of stuff. I would rather just watch how somebody carries themselves.
Oh man, your husband is in trouble, man. If he gets like, wow, he's just in trouble. You're just
No,
gonna
I'm good with it. I only use it. I use it for
uh,
good things.
no, I'm just kidding. All right. So kind of piggybacking off that last question, do you have any hidden talents that you
Oh,
love to know about? Yeah.
that's a good question. I have to think about that for a second. Do I have any hidden? I don't think anything that's cool. I don't know. I'm gonna have to come back to that one. I'm gonna
Okay.
have to come back to that one because I don't know if anything I have any hidden talents. Let me think about it. Let me think
Sure.
about it. I gotta
Um,
think about that. I actually want to think about that for myself too. So let me come
yeah.
back to you on that
No.
one.
Um, I remember you when we were at John Jay together. I remember sitting next to you in class. What was that? What class did we take together? What it
I
was
think we had more than one, but I really don't remember the title of the class.
I think it was philosophy and policing or something like that. I don't remember. Could have been. But I remember you drink like always having a Starbucks coffee in your hand. So do you still do
That's
that?
hilarious. No, actually, ironically, a couple years ago, maybe like 5 years ago, I started feeling really anxious all the time. And I was like, what is this? Like, I don't get it. And I can't remember who it was, but somebody told me stop drinking coffee. So literally 5 years ago, I did. This is decaf. I literally had stopped drinking coffee 5 years ago. So I don't buy it. Isn't that funny? Yeah, I was like a regular at Starbucks and
Yeah, that's crazy. Um, I actually, it's funny. I remember. Oh, and I think we had. Oh man, we had drug use and abuse together too. That was one
oh
of the.
yeah.
Yeah. Um, and I remember you saying. I remember you saying to me, I came into class one day and I had my headphones in, but you could hear like what was coming out of my headphones, and you said that was kind of like a pet peeve of yours, and I always found
Oh
that.
my God. I know. I'm so sorry. I can't believe you remember that.
No, no, no. I mean, I actually found that funny. I wasn't offended at all.
It really is. I just don't understand why I can hear things that are coming out of other people's headphones. I don't know. I used to live, you know what I think it was too, is when I was going to John Jay, I used to live in Brooklyn and it was such a long train ride. And I would have to spend the time on the train listening to some really terrible music from other people's headphones.
Yeah, no. Yeah, if I forget my headphones, like that day is gonna be really messed up. I'm almost 99% sure I'm not gonna have a good day. Yeah, no.
That's amazing.
I found that really funny. Like I
I can't believe you remember that. That's really, that's great.
so what was okay, so when you first met me, like what were your first impressions of me when you first met me?
Wow. I thought you were funny. I think one of the first things you did was tell me a joke or like make a joke about something. I
Well,
did think you were very, very funny. I also thought one of the things I did notice about you, which I thought was really cool, and I don't often have this characteristic, was you were very outgoing. Like you would just walk up to someone and like go up to someone and just talk to them. And I'm like, how does he do that? Like, how does he just like go up to someone and be like, hey? I'm like,
uh, nah,
it's cool. That's a cool thing to have, That's a really, really cool like personality trait to have.
yeah, no, my thing is I'm cool with everybody. If uh,
Yeah.
unless you give me like a reason to not like you, then I'm pretty much cool. We're pretty much cool.
Yeah, but I mean, it takes a lot to go up, like especially in college, to just go up to someone and just try to become someone that they know and become a friend to them. And I didn't really do that when I was at John Jay. I feel like I mean, I think there was a girl, Erica, I was close with. Yeah, Erica, I was definitely close with. And then I can't think of many other people I was friends with at the school.
Yeah, nah, it was, hey, I mean, that's what it was, man. I had a lot of people that I was cool with, but like I was more focused on academics. More like if I had time to chill with people, then so be it. But like I was mainly focused on academics.
Well, I wish I would have paid a little bit more attention in school. So good for you on that too.
That's cool. Hey, you what do you call it? You're doing very well for yourself. Um, I always like to let my yes ask, like, do you have a question for me, like something that you've always wanted to ask me that you never got the chance to ask me, or something that you've been thinking about, or
Well, I don't think it's something that I always wanted to ask you, but I do want to know what are you doing? What does your days look like besides waiting till 4 a.m. to talk to me?
so my days now are kind of like I'm doing a lot of work for my YouTube channel. Like that's
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, I wouldn't call it a like a job, because I'm not I can't monetize yet due to like lack of subscribers. So yeah, I can't monetize yet, but I'm waiting for that to grow. But just working out, trying to stay healthy, especially
Good,
through the pandemic, and just helping out with helping out, around with my mom and whatever she needs, helping out with my
good.
little sister. And I sometimes do like speaking engagements. Like I'll go, like a couple of weeks ago I went back to John Jay because my improv professor had asked me to come back and run her class and everything like that. So I kind of got to do that.
Oh,
That was pretty cool. Um and then
awesome.
yeah, then I have a master's in theater arts. So
Very cool.
what I do is I haven't done it in like a year due to the pandemic, but what I normally do is I go back to my elementary school, like maybe once or twice a year, and I kind
Wow.
of, because some of the teachers that taught me when I was a kid are still there, so I come back and I teach their students like improv comedy.
Very cool. That's amazing. That kind of stuff is always so important, really. I used to do guest speaking at LaGuardia in Queens College.
Yeah, like what?
Well, the professor that I had at John Jay went over there, one that I worked alongside, and so she would do the very first class that the kids had to take to like intro into criminal justice or whatever, right? And so she called me to go in because I would like haze these kids. I would be like, how many of you are in here because you want to be cops? And however many would raise their hand, right? And then I would say like, how many of you want to do this? And by the end of the class, it was like every person had like switched because they were like, you're right, I never thought of that. And I was like, trust me, I took a long time to finish school as well because I couldn't make my mind up. So I think it's like good when guest speakers come in, they give like a more realistic perspective to things, you know? So I think that's great. I really do.
Yeah, it's really fun, and
Yeah,
especially teaching like kids, like, because it's they're very energetic, especially elementary school kids. So it's kind of easy to teach them
fun.
once you get them focused.
Yeah, that's the hard part.
Yeah, but I enjoy doing it, and that kind of goes hand
Great.
in hand. That kind of goes hand in hand with me. Like I also I don't know if you've heard. I don't know if you heard of it. It's called the Victory Games. So basically, it used to be called the Games for the Physically Challenged, which is
Okay.
like the Special Olympics, but like kind of it's the Special Olympics essentially, but we kind of they just kind of cleaned it up because they didn't want to like be under the Special Olympics banner, so
Okay.
they call it the Victory Games. So I competed for my elementary school from 96 to 99, and
Wow.
then I went then I like I said, due to the pandemic, it's been over a year, so they didn't happen last year, and I don't know if they're gonna happen this year, but I do go back and I coach my elementary school, so that's pretty
Very cool.
uh
That's so great. Really, that's so great. Dedicating time is always incredible. Truly.
yeah,
That's amazing.
yeah, my thing is, if I always told myself, if I was ever in a position to give back and use my platform, or my influence for good, then I always would. So that's kind of why I do this.
Well, I'm not analyzing, I swear. But you are somebody, and I think that's why it's so incredible that you have the personality that you have, because there are people that could be in similar circumstances as you that do not realize the power that you actually have. You go out and you talk to people, and you go out and you change people's lives because you are very much yourself, and like nothing stops you, and I think that that is such a really, really, really like top tier personality trait. I really do. Like, you have courage, you put yourself on the line, you go out, you introduce yourself, you roll with the punches. I think it's amazing. I really do. I think it's incredible.
Thank you so much. That means so much. That means a lot coming from you.
Yeah, no, it's a really cool thing. You should be very, very, very proud of yourself.
Sometimes I kind of get like down on myself, like not in a sense that why am I doing this, but like I'm kind of more of a what have you done lately type of guy than to bask in like my past accomplishments. Don't get me wrong, I've done some pretty cool stuff, and I'm continuing to do cool stuff, but it's like I'm kind of just what have you done for me lately type of guy, and that's what I'm trying to, yeah.
Yeah, but so many people don't lack that. They lack that, and then they look back and they can't even think of anything that they have done to bask in. So I think that's a pretty cool way to think about it though. What have I done lately? That's a pretty cool way to think about that.
Yeah, because a lot of people just like I've noticed a lot of people that have done cool things like just sit back on their past accomplishments and like don't try to move forward from that. And it's like you can't do that. Like accomplishing something is cool, but there's always more to do.
Right. Right. Exactly. 1,000%. That's a very, very cool, very, very cool perspective. I like that a lot. That's really cool.
Well, and it's funny when I tell not to get too much into me because this ain't
No,
about you, but yeah, no, one of the I hate I can't describe the amount of hate that I have for people that like, well, random strangers actually that call me inspirational. Like, uh reason why I say that is because most people, like, I don't know if I'm looking at this negatively. Maybe you can help me with this, but
let me hear it.
the thing is, when I feel like people are calling me, well, random strangers are calling me inspirational because of the fact that they see me, like you said, going out and trying to help people and talk to people and stuff like that. But then I feel like they're looking at the wheelchair rather than, the situation.
You.
So
Yeah.
that's kind of why I hate it. Like if you know me and you call me inspirational and you know what I've been through, hey, that's great. And I will, I call a lot of people inspirational, but I feel like when it comes to me, that a lot of people just look at the situation rather than the person.
I don't think you're looking at it negatively. I think you feel it's not genuine.
That's kind of what it is.
I think you feel like it's just not a real compliment or like a real thing. And there might be a level of ignorance to the people that do say it, not in a negative way, not a negative ignorance, just truly, truly. But I would say, yeah, you're right. I am. Thank you. What are you? Are you? You know, are
No,
you
yeah,
inspirational?
it's
Or catch them off guard. Say why. Just do
ah,
it.
I
Just
should do that.
yeah, just say why am I inspirational? Because there is, and this is, I think, like I was saying before, just there's stigma around mental health, there's stigma around a lot of things, and I think there's this stigma, which I don't even know if that's the right word. There's a lack of education about it, or I don't know. That all of a sudden people think that you can't live the same life for some reason. Like that makes no sense, but when people don't know any better, they think that that's true in their head. So, it can go one of two ways: make them feel uncomfortable, which I always like to put people on their toes. You can just say why, or take it and say, yeah, I am. You're right. Thank you.
I'm probably gonna go with the latter half of that, which is gonna like really piss them off. But I really don't.
Or I don't think it would piss them off. I think it would make people laugh or make them give a real answer. Then if excuse me, if it is genuine, you will know.
No, it's like, yeah, and I always tell people that tell me that, I'm like, okay, so are you calling me inspirational because you know what I've been through and you've seen it or lived it with me or whatever, or are you just looking
Right.
at the wheelchair and it's like, oh, I can't do what he's doing and I don't know how he does it.
Right.
Like it's like if that's your answer as to why you think I'm inspirational, then you're doing the shit all wrong, you know? Like if my thing is if I can help uh one person going through a similar situation with my story, then that's what I want to happen. I don't,
Yeah.
yeah, I don't want you to look at me as inspirational. Like if I can help one person going through a similar situation, then yeah, then the job is done.
Yeah.
I look at it.
Yeah, exactly. I think everything you do with good intentions and a good, real like genuinity. Is that the word? Genuineness? What's the word? I
uh
think you're genuine, and I think that makes all the difference. I would say, you know what? Take it as a compliment.
right, thank you so much. So what okay, so going back to that question that I asked you earlier, do you have any hidden talents? Do you want to have you been thinking about it? Do you want to answer?
I feel like I feel like I've never been asked that question. Isn't that funny? I
Mhm.
really don't know. I'm trying. Oh, actually, I do have a hidden talent. I literally make the best. I can make a perfect hard-boiled egg every time.
That's, hey, there's nothing to laugh at. That is very difficult to do.
It blows my mind every time that it's like the shell comes off perfectly and it's like perfect. I don't know. I don't know. It's
It's hilarious.
I don't know if that's a talent, but it is something that I find really funny and interesting.
Okay, so before we wrap this up, I don't want to keep you too much longer because I know you're doing stuff.
Yeah, I have another one meeting coming up.
It's cool. So I want to ask you, and you're the first guest I'm asking this, so let's, no pressure. What are three things you're most grateful for?
I am most grateful for my family, first and foremost. I think I'm very lucky in that department. Um, I'm grateful for my resilience. Really, I can go up against a lot. It takes a lot to knock me down. Um, and I think the third thing I'm grateful for is that I know how to be grateful. I honestly think that a lot of things that have happened in my life are because when really wonderful things happen, I'm grateful. But I'm grateful for everything down to like the sunrise and the sunset. So I'm
Oh,
really glad that was instilled in me for sure.
and last question before we wrap this up. If you can give your younger self one piece of advice, what would it be?
Other people's opinions don't matter. Other people's opinions are not my problem and none of my business. I really wish I would have learned that earlier.
That is great
Yeah.
advice. Okay, so do you have anything that you want to promote or anything like that?
Not necessarily. I definitely want people to check out Up. I'll send you those links. I would, but I think the only thing I really genuinely want to say is after the year that the entire world had last year, the entire planet was affected by this. Just be nice to people because you really truly have no idea what people are going through. I mean, I was sitting in the cafe, coffee shop thing at the hospital with my back against the wall doing Zoom meetings, not even saying, I was sitting in the hospital waiting because someone was in ICU. So you just don't know what's happening with people. Just be nice. It's just much easier.
Yeah, that is definitely great advice, and people definitely should follow that. Thank you so much for doing this.
Of course, this is fun. It was really good to see you, and I'm feeling such good energy from talking to you, and I'm excited for you. Stick with it. Stick with it. You'll
Oh,
get everything you want from it. Just stick with it.
most definitely. And when you come back to the States and New York specifically, we have to catch up.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. Absolutely. And I will talk to you soon. I mean, I talked to you.
Of course. All right. So this has been another amazing episode of Classic Conversations. And I will see you guys on the next one. Thank you guys. Thank you so much for doing this, Charlene. Again, really means
Of
everything.
course. Thank you.
You're very welcome. Okay, so with that, I am Izzy, she is Charlene, and we are out of time. Peace.